I don't think you can guess how many fabric stores I had to go to find the fabric for this jacket. 5. I had to go into Montreal, and it's always the super simple fabrics that you think you're gonna find everywhere super easily that are the most elusive ones. Anyways, 4th time's the charm with the Metaphor Refantazio cosplay commissions. 2 nearly full costumes with Hulkenberg and Louis. 2 jackets with the Basilio one being the last one we did, and now Strohl. I don't know if that's actually how you say his name. I did not inform myself. I'm telling you right now, though, I'm a sucker for a cool jacket with a cool flipped over lapel. Throw in some cowboy swagger with said jacket and you've got yourself a deal. But for this jacket, we can settle with also pretty cool 17th century looking buff coat situation. Before we fully begin, I'd like to take a moment of silence for my rotary cutter versus this fabric. Luckily, due to this being another Metaphor silhouette, I could reference my pattern for the Basilio jacket. And like 100% of the other Metaphor projects, Strohl has some cutouts too. So much less work than the clovers and spades. I'm also going to go ahead and mark these lines for the pocket opening and the pin tuck dart looking detail we will tackle later. I figured why not get some more tedious stuff out of the way first and start assembly with the lining. Starting with the front facing. I like to find as much as I can out of my stash to avoid waste and, of course, adding to the stash, so this green fabric will do nicely with the tan tone of the suede. It will, of course, mean a few thread changes I'd rather minimize, so I'm assembly lining the green. The fun part, depending, of course, on your idea of fun, is to connect it to the facing, which involves lining up some seam junctions, and of course, a lovely 90-degree angle. The trick here is to arrive the seam allowance length away from the edge, cut the corner towards the needle as close as is safe, pivot the lining around, and continue sewing. The pattern was edited, by the way, to have the correct measurement here. The top of the shoulders is next, followed by the back edge, which stops at the point I mark with 2 consecutive pins. Oh geez, I think I'm a bit of a robot today when it comes to this voiceover. I can't help it. I'm like, yes, that must be accurate. This must be accurately depicted verbally. Anyways, check out this sick caveman logic when it comes to seeing where these points correspond on the other side. This fabric was actually pretty sweet when it came to pinching it. It folded like paper for some reason. It made sewing this pin tuck right on the edge very, very easy. Look at that. Look at it. And now, for a pocket. I really hope can fit a phone. There's going to be a pocket flap too, so I don't have to worry about there being a green narrow rectangle showing. Which there will be. Sometimes there's no need to overcomplicate your life. These just get sewn about a 1/4 inch from the edge, ironed inward, another super narrow stitch on the edge, shoving the other half of the green inward, and sewing on the green edge. What's this pocket called? No idea. I'm sure it has a name, but I kind of just made it up because it worked. The aforementioned pocket flap is up next. Why the triangles and notches? When this gets turned inside out, the triangles take care of the excess fabric being pushed into a smaller space, and the notches allow the seam allowance to stretch from a smaller space to a larger one. This way you could get that crispy Dorito edge without a fight. See my face right here? That is the face of someone fighting a battle with a very stiff, dense fabric in direct conflict with the fabric-covered button contraption. But when there's a will, there's a way, and if I didn't have crazy downstairs neighbors, I would just smack it with a mallet a couple times. But I can't do that. At least 10 or 12 of these were done somehow. And now that all that prep work is done, assembly for the main layer can begin. Hooray! Why? It's just me. I'm just here to let you know that this video is sponsored by myself. I've got 2 thumbs and they're pointed at me. Just letting you know that I do have a pattern available for this jacket if you're making something similar or you're making Strohl for yourself. The link is going to be down below in the description so that it can save you time and that a lot of the annoying work is already done for you. Anyways, back to the video. And if anyone is interested in the embroidery files, let me know, and I can upload them to the shop as well. The biggest pieces here took a little over 2 hours each, so in total, there was probably somewhere around 5.5 hours of that lovely sound, which is why most of these sleeve clips will be muted. I kinda dig these elbow patch details, and I'm always down for some precision sewing because I love tedious things. No joke. I might just be a crazy person. It's probably all that ironing. And again, like Basilio, Strohl has these strange sleeve caps I'm aesthetically not a huge fan of. Along with being kind of a lot annoying to iron. Clapper to the rescue, but I won't lie to you and say this part was fun. Videos sometimes make steps like these look like a walk in the park, so I'm just letting you know that this was no leisurely stroll. A leisurely stroll. I've got a bone to pick with Arm's Eyes, and this project was my final straw. Speaking of things that aren't all sunshines and rainbows, for now though, I'm going to add a square gusset in the armpit to assist in range of motion. I did edit the Arm's Eye in the final pattern, but adding this gusset wouldn't hurt regardless. And I'm just top stitching it here since this fabric was so fun to top stitch. So for the uninitiated, when I'm talking about an Arm's Eye, I'm talking about the armhole. Now the reason why it's been annoying me so much is because in a lot of commercial patterns, which I use at the start of my builds to refer to before the pattern is a completely different pattern, a lot of modern day commercial patterns have a really low set Arm's Eye with a really steep angle. And that looks fantastic when you are standing like this, perhaps a slight nod towards a T pose. But as soon as you go like this, you might figure already what I'm getting at. What happens is your entire jacket goes up and your shoulders go wink, and it's really uncomfortable. Now, there is a solution for this. Make the Arm's Eye a little bit closer to the armpit. That way it's not down here when it lifts. I don't know if is this obvious? It's not pulling from down here, it's pulling from here. So there's not as much, you know, yes. You can lessen that curve a little bit. So when you look at it, the height between when it's at the top and back over here, you make that a little bit less so that you end up with more of a gentile swoop. But you're gonna have to take into account the circumference of your Arm's Eye at the same time with that too. Now, if you do that, your jacket's not gonna look as clean and pristine when you're like this. There is gonna be a little bit of rippling over here. But when you go like that, a lot less nonsense is gonna occur. And it's just gonna be a lot more comfortable and you're gonna feel less stuck in your shoulder area as well. On a more positive note, the lining and main layers are now ready to be connected. The whole thing is bag lined, but those cutouts need to be included in the big ol' stitch line. Better safe than sorry, so I'm adding some interfacing real quick. More seams lined up, layers secured so they don't move. And this part gets a little chaotic. Lots of fabric shoved in the machine, rotating, peeking over the horizon dramatically, writing letters from Vietnam, sailing the 7 seas, and then returning to cut into the sewn outlines. Clip the edges so that it can go like this. And then it's ready. It will turn.
It will cut.
So time to inside out it. And now we just have holes to unhole, starting by the back. I had always planned to hand sew this, so that's how it was patterned. Also, I want to show you how satisfying this is. I love how it just, how do you say, invisibizes. It couldn't wait. Before that, though, junk helped. This took twice as long as it should have. The front lapels got a nice top stitch, and then we move on to the next 2 holes to unhole. Should I stop saying that? It is accurate, though. I'm just gonna let you watch this. I'm back, hello! I wanted the cuffs to close easily, so buttons are purely decorative. And now but one opening remains to unopen the collar. Basically all the same steps as the cuffs. And now, the finishing touches. I'm using Heat and Bond Ultra Hold to stick this bad boy on. Once it's first ironed on, I can trim the edges, place it on the jacket, and lock it in. And this was really challenging because this suede was not forgiving with heat. So the roses I just fabric glued on. I, as usual, decided to give myself extra work and used my lucid fork to make this cord that goes on the front lapels. You will likely see this thing once every couple projects. Remember when I said sometimes it's not worth overcomplicating your life? Ain't nothing wrong with a little hot glue here and there. And same goes for sticking it to the jacket. And once the little gold buttons are stitched on, it is complete. The 4th Metaphor Refantazio cosplay commission I work on. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a pattern available in the shop. And share what you've made with me, by the way. I want to see your cool cosplays. I can currently, as of right now, assure you that there are no other Metaphor Refantazio cosplays in the future video roster. Is that subject to change? Maybe. I've not been in contact with Miss Cleo, so I have no idea. What's next? Megara, perhaps? Yeah, let's do Megara next. That way I knock out the rest of the remaining old footage having ones. At least half of it's old footage. Soon, someday soon, you guys are gonna stop hearing me talk about this. But for anybody time traveling in time back in my video logs, gonna be like, what? But then it'll make sense if they go chronologically. Anyways, we are currently on a roll, so let's keep that up. I would like to thank my Twitch subs as always. Your support is greatly appreciated. Love you long time. You gotta kiss the homies, so I'm kissing the homies right now by putting them up on the screen. Okay? See you guys soon. See you in the next one. Megara. Hercules. Oh god, I thought it wasn't recording for a second. I was like, frick.